You're listening to Ignite Your Success, a podcast that inspires fitness professionals to build a strong business that enables them to serve more people and engineer the lifestyle they desire. It's Brad Shepherd here, and together with Jason Ubanowicz, we're best known for running Trainer HQ, a community of passionate and profit-hungry fitness business owners that make a massive difference in others' lives every day. Each episode will unpack for you exactly what's working and deliver best practice strategies so you can confidently grow your business and make a huge impact. G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Trainer HQ Ignite Your Ultimate Success podcast series. Now, I'm joined by Trainer HQ client, superstar, and also one of our Entrepreneur of the Year recipients, Mrs. Brooke Cutts. Welcome, Brooke.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks for having me on. Very excited for our chats.
My pleasure. I'm pumped too because our journey's been an awesome one. I can't wait to unpack. So I'm going to rip straight into it. Right, you've been around us for many years. People are going to be able to hear about your journey shortly. But first of all, I want to hear about where you're from. So you're from WA, and you're from a, I guess we call it a pretty small town. So tell us a bit about Manjimup.
So small town south of Perth, so in the lower southwest of WA, and it's kind of a farming town, so pretty much surrounded by where we are is all farmers, veggie, cattle, sheep, all that sort of stuff. But in the town of Manjimup, there is a small community as well. We love it. I've grown up here. I did leave for a few years and go to Perth and do my travelling and all that sort of stuff. But I got with my husband. Came back to Manji. Yeah, come back to Manji. Sorry, then I was back here.
What's the estimated population of Manjimup?
I'm not 100% sure right now.
We'd have to Google it, but it's pretty small, isn't it?
Yeah, 5,000 was the start, but I reckon it might be up to about 10,000 now.
Yeah. All right, cool. We can check that part out. But what we know, it's a small town now. You are, I believe, cattle farmer's daughter, right?
Yes, that's it. That's me.
And in the town of Manjimup, is it customary for somebody like yourself to move into the family business? Tell me a bit about that part.
So I'm assuming Dad would have loved if I stayed on the farm, but I've got a sister and a brother. My sister's definitely gone into the farming side of it. She's even married another farmer now. So he's a veggie farmer. She's doing the cattle side of things. But I love that side of things, but I preferred the fitness industry and moving into my own business and things like that. Don't get me wrong, I still have a few cows and that on the farm that Dad looks after. But the farming lifestyle wasn't for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Now let's talk about when you kicked off your business back in 2013 was when you became a trainer, right? And can you tell us a bit about what life was like back then, what you were doing and how you were making it happen?
Yeah, so when I got qualified, I was still living in Perth. So I was running a few sessions with just people up there. And then I moved back down south and I got a job on a farm. I think I was picking truffles or something like that then, or cauliflowers, who knows. But before work, like before my day of work, I was doing boot camps and the same thing at nighttime. I just slowly built my business up doing that there and just forward,
And that was the inception of Brooke's Fitness, the personal training business as such, and it was primarily driven by boot camps?
Yeah, so it was called Brooke's Boot Camps back in 2013. And then I decided to move more into personal training as well. Like I obviously had the qualification. I really loved the boot camp style of training. I loved having a big group of people and just, that atmosphere. But then I did move into more of like personal training. My granddad's in like a Freemasons lodge down here. So I actually use the Freemasons lodge, like a little church sort of thing. We used to run a few PTs out of there and on the lawn and that sort of stuff. So it was great. Yeah,
fantastic. Now I believe there were certain people in Manjimup that weren't that happy about you running these boot camps.
Yeah, so in Manjimup, there's an aqua centre. There was another gym, and then that was it. So then there was little old Brooke doing Brooke's boot camps. It was hard to get started. Not from support, like I had a lot of people supporting me, but it was hard just to go through and compete, I suppose, with that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, through those times, how long did you continue working full-time whilst doing the boot camps before and after? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who are listening to this who are in that same situation. They're in a full-time job and they're like, doing their best to throw it in whenever they can and thinking about the aspiration of how do I make that change. How long did you continue that for?
So let's say if I moved back to Manji, because after I got qualified, I did a few things, and then I went travelling for about 6 to 7 months.
Yep.
When I moved back, I think it was about 2014.
Yeah.
So I reckon I probably did it for a solid 2 years.
Yep.
Come 2016, end of that year, I went on a holiday. I was really sick of this other competition in town, just constantly ringing up the Shire, complaining about
you.
Yes. Yeah.
Who the hell would complain about you? I don't get it. Like,
I don't know. They should have just become friends with me. I could have helped them out. Anyways. And then I went traveling. And then when I got back from my traveling after that, I went for 7 weeks to America. Yeah. When I got home, it was the start of 2017, and I moved straight into this new gym that had opened up. It had been a gym back and forth through the years, like people had bought it, open it up and then kind of either shut it down or whatever they did.
Yes.
But yeah, one of my good mates, he opened up the gym there and I moved in as Brooke's Fitness.
Yeah, absolutely. And how cool, as we move back to that time of 2016, that was the first time we had the privilege of meeting you. We were back in the day in our previous name, Create PT Wealth, and we were exhibiting in Western Australia at the Fitness Expo there. And you dropped in, you're all fresh and, you're wanting to make a go of this PT thing. So you come along to our workshop back then. And I guess in many ways, for you, it was kind of like, all right, I'm going to have a go at it. Now, you didn't start on our coaching program in 2016. It was then 2017 when you come back and attended the same event. And at that point in time, you're like, all right, cool. I'm going to go ahead with these guys, get on the coaching program, get the help and take this thing to the next level. What was kind of like the turning point back then? What was the influence for yourself? And
I knew that I needed some help. So, for instance, everyone would obviously know this, when you become a personal trainer, there is no business behind it at all. They kind of just like head certificate, off you go train people. So I was that person, which I'm sure a lot of people still do, is I'm taking cash from old mate over here. Yeah. Can you transfer me $30 over here? That sort of stuff. So I was constantly chasing up money for work that I'd done 2 weeks ago. So it was to that point where I was like, no, this is too hard. I need some help. And I just wanted, obviously I'd met you guys, back then. And that was great. Loved the atmosphere and, the energy that you guys brought. Yeah. Went to that first seminar, learnt so much. I went from that one there and I started putting a lot of things in. I think we might have even had a chat back and forth. Yeah. And then I went again by myself to the next seminar. And that's when I was like, no, let's do it. And wouldn't change a thing. Loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the 5 years down the track, we've had the privilege of working together, having you on the program. And during that time, I've not only had the luxury of working with you myself, but you've worked with several of our coaches now. And, I guess you want to describe kind of the experience and the way you've been able to, I guess, leverage off everyone to build what you've built.
Yeah. So my first coach was Michael Hewitt, and I absolutely loved him as well. That was fantastic. So Michael had very similar sort of business as to what I was kind of growing towards, like boot camp sort of style. So we actually went over to Brisbane. I think we had a seminar there. I met Michael to go see his setup and stuff like that. So it was really great. Worked really well with him. But then it got to a point where I just wanted to go a bit bigger, a bit better, like that sort of stuff, and moved on to
E-Man, yep.
E-Man. And then so E-Man had a different aspect. He helped me on like a lot of my online sort of stuff. So setting up like funnels and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So we worked through that for a long time. And then I went to Ben.
Betty D, yep. And we haven't got to the bit where you bought the gym, but we're going to get to that shortly. So
yes. So and then Ben, and you probably all know Ben. He's fantastic. And then I went to you, and every single coach has a totally different look on things and has something to offer. So it's been great, to work with all these different people.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, so let's go back now. I remember sort of like your first part on the program. Now, I can't remember the exact numbers, but my memory, the first year, you got it to around about sort of 60 grand. Was that your first 12 months?
Yeah.
Maybe it was the 100 grand, because the thing I'm going to get to is when the testimonial we got when we talk about your tax bill. So I think the first year you might have hit that 6-figure number. Maybe you approached the 100 grand mark.
Yeah, I think it might have, first year. Yeah, so I reckon I was maybe making around 100K.
Yeah, about 2 grand a week. Yep.
Yeah, with that. And then I think the first year with you guys, I made 156 grand.
I remember that. I remember your bit sorry for butting in. I remember your big thing was going, I got my tax bill and hey, I've got a tax bill. My profit is like, it was 120 something from memory.
Yes. Yeah. So, after all my bills and stuff like that, I still made 120K profit. Which was, huge. Yeah.
It's outstanding. Now, this is, let's just paint the context now. So at that point in time, you're operating underneath the roof of somebody else's gym, and you're running both, you're still running your group classes as well as one-on-one PT sessions at that point in time.
Yes. Yeah. So it was all me. I was doing everything, starting at the 5 o'clock in the morning, not leaving the gym till 8 p.m. that night, that sort of stuff. So there was huge amount of sessions. I was getting knackered, making good coin, but probably not being home enough really. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, at that point in time, you also had aspirations to go just beyond working from the gym. So tell me about that part.
Yeah. So, I always wanted to hire people. And that was, I think, even when I first went on with Ben, I really just I needed to get someone to help me. I was at that point where I was like, I'm knackered. I can't keep doing what I'm doing. So we need to get someone in here. So we worked on lots of things. But as we've talked about before, Manjimup's a small little town. I was kind of one of the only PTs in town. So I had, I was lucky in that aspect. I had a lot of clients and not a hell of a lot of competition. But it was getting to the point where I wanted to expand and make my business, the best personal training business in town, so that I was that number one. Yeah,
and leverage really your time and energy as well.
100%. Yeah, I wanted to, as we always say, work on the business, not, constantly being in the business doing personal training and stuff like that. Yeah.
So you went through that process, and then there also became so you started to grow and started to hire team members, but there was also the opportunity now to buy the gym that you're in.
Yes. So 2019, my first employee come in, which was super daunting. I'd never done anything like it before. This, Debbie was the trainer, and so she was a bit older than me as well. So me being, I think I was 25 back then, and hiring someone that was, I think she was 36, 37. We're great friends and stuff like that. And she was one of my clients for a long, long time, but it was so daunting to hire someone. And then, oh my God, now I've got an employee to have to, give them work, all that sort of stuff. So it was a big step, but in the right direction. And then, start of 2020 is when I, bought the gym, took the plunge, had the option to do it. We just...
And how did this discussion around you buying the gym come about? Did you approach them? Did they approach you? Was it what? Because had you thought previously, hey, I want to own a gym, or?
That was always, I think, my end goal. I didn't know how I was going to get there. Back in probably back in, 2015, there was a lady that owned the gym back then. And I did do a few personal training sessions for her. She actually wanted to sell the gym. I put in an offer. She got upset with me, sacked me. That was another story. So then back into, 2019, me and the guy that owned the gym, really good friends, and I had, he's from Perth, so he didn't want to be down here. He just wanted to kind of come down, do, this, set up and get it going and stuff like that, and then hand it off to someone. So we, had a really good business deal and went for it, and it's, been the best thing ever.
Fantastic. So you went from just Brooks boot camps into Brooks Fitness, now to also owning the gym, which, and the name of that, Manjimup?
Fit Life 24/7.
Fit Life 24/7, ladies and gentlemen. So if you ever find yourself down in Manjimup, that's the place to go. That's the place to drop into. And so I guess for you, what it meant is your niche market really expanded, because you not only had, Brooks Fitness, specifically, caters for ladies primarily. Is that right? You have a blend of both, correct?
A bit of both. Yeah. So a lot of my Brooks Fitness sort of stuff is ladies and more like, I suppose, mums and that sort of stuff we kind of target. But we do have male clients as well. Yeah, absolutely. And then what it meant for you is you got negotiations through sort of at the end of 2019. 2020, you purchased the gym. Now, what date did you do the deal on the gym? So it was like the 3rd or the 4th of February. I think it was the 3rd. Yeah? 3rd
or 4th of Feb. Now, everyone's going to be remembering 2020 and probably hoping to forget it. At late February, what also happened?
I got married.
You got married. Photo in the background. Big Cutsy there. Used to be known as Brooke Phillips around your way, didn't you? But now you're Cutsy. And so you guys got married. But like, business is going really well. Bought the gym. Got married. How fucking good's this? Everything's going in the right direction. And then what happened?
And then I think I was saying to you before, about March 16th, it all went to shit. And I was, oh my God, it was the hardest thing ever. Absolute mess. Had to shut the doors of the gym. I think we closed for like 3 months. I think we opened back up in September, I think it was. Like, it was a huge.
Crazy. Yeah.
I think we were able to go, we opened it up in, I think it was July.
But then it was all restricted, wasn't it?
It was restricted, so we had to be there for clients to come in. Like, it wasn't 24/7. But I think back to September, we were able to go back to 24/7.
Yeah.
So that was full on. That was shit time.
Wild ride. So during this whole phase, obviously, because I've had the privilege of working with you, and you've been on our coaching program for 5 years, which has been absolutely amazing. So we've been able to be with you through this whole journey. But the thing has been, like, my observation has been your resilience and your perseverance through all this, because I guess the way I've observed it is you viewed everything as an opportunity. So it's like, all right, whilst we're shut down, I can now work on the development of the systems, and I can work on my marketing. I work on all these things that I can put in place.
That's it. We did lots of stuff when it shut down. We rented out equipment, so like all our cardio equipment that went out the door, that paid for, I think it was $800 a week or something we were getting. So that paid for our rent. Yes. Our landlord was really good. But that went on to paying our rent pretty much. There was that. I've got really good at doing Zoom personal training.
Yes.
I can't sleep in bed, and I'd be here screaming at doing bloody donkey kicks out the back and whatever.
Love it.
That, and I just worked at a farm during the day, sort of thing. So fantastic. And so now obviously you've been weathering the storm, and I mean, even for you guys, what we kept chatting about, almost like the flow-on effect, whereas through like Melbourne got smashed at the end of 2021, Sydney got smashed, then we had the whole sort of vaccine thing and the mandates and all the rest of it. And this whole COVID wave thing. And I remember telling you, it's almost like you guys are about 2 or 3 months behind. And sure enough, coming early 2022, and you're thinking, we're in the clear here. You guys got smashed. You got the triple vax. You got the bloody COVID and Manjimup. COVID come. I was one of the first to bring it back to Manjimup, which was like the worst thing apparently. And obviously I'm pretty well known in Manjimup as well. So that was, everyone was like, oh, Brooke's got COVID, rah, rah, rah. And so it was full on, and it was a shocking time. And then on top of that, we all had to have our vaccines, which I was fine with, but we had a few employees that weren't. So lost employees that way. A lot of our members we lost. I think we dropped. Our gym's not huge, but we've got about 335 members, I think it was, and we lost at least, just over 10% of those members. So probably compared to like what happened in Melbourne and stuff like that, we were very fortunate. But it definitely did have an effect on us. And that didn't stop us. We just kept cruising and doing
And the best part of this is, again, because I've got been able to see all your data, all your stats, you still run a highly profitable business. through all this, which has now led you to this next phase in business, which is hot off the press. Drum roll, ladies and gentlemen. Cutsy, you got some big news for us. What's happening?
So here's a contract, guys, of we're going to purchase the building, the gym that we actually have, that we run our business out of. So this is the next big step for us. Nothing's gone through yet, so it's still obviously,
still work in press. Hush, people. Let's make sure we don't break this news too early.
But it's all happening and all in the process, and it's another big step, and we've had to create a company, we've had to create a trust, another big step, new things to learn and stuff like that. So it's been full on.
It's fantastic, and that's the thing I love about business. Again, there's always the next bit or the next stage of growth and development and learning. And once again, it's not. I mean, your numbers are great. You got to run a highly profitable business. You always have. And once again, it's not just about the money. It's like we've got the part where, in your community, the difference you're making, the impact you're making, and that part just stands true. Anyone's only got to jump onto your socials, like your Instagram or any of that sort of stuff, Facebook, and see what you're doing in the community that you have and so forth. And that part's really cool.
Anyone listening, marketing is a huge part of obviously running a business. So even myself now, I am running, I'm in the business a fair bit, which I'm hoping to step out again. Really focus on working on the business, but obviously things have happened, COVID-wise, that sort of stuff. Working on it. And as of pretty much today, I've got a new personal trainer starting. Yes. And hopefully as of next week, I've got another one starting. So, one leaves, but I've got 2 more coming on. So exciting times for Brooks Fitness and Fit Life 24/7.
Yeah, that's absolutely outstanding. And again, the observation I've got of yourself is that although you've been good at working in the business, turning up, running the sessions, bringing the energy, whatever's required, you've always made the time and prioritized the time. That'll be the word I put to it, to work on the business and do the things that are required. So 100%. Even in our coaching sessions, to give the listeners a bit of an insight into what it takes, to be a high performer, we would run a session, and then on the back end of it, Cutsy, you go, all right, I've got myself an hour or 2 hour window now, and on the back end of that session, on the steps that we put in place, you'd be actioning them, you'd be sending me through, done, check this out, run your eyes over this, and so once again, that's. I go, what does it take to achieve the type of success you got? And it's that that killer instinct. And once again, have you worked hard? Have you put in the hours? Absolutely. But it's really been a case of where you focus your priority. And, so that part's been probably the biggest observation from me.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's just as important to do the business side of thing as to be in the business. It's the same for any sort of, business. You could be a plumber, whatever it is, doing that business side of thing, the marketing, all that sort of stuff, keeping those customers happy, and just making people aware of what you do and what you've got, and what your community's made up of and stuff like that. So, and I'm still learning. I'm constantly, every chance I get, if I see something that I like on my phone that's come up on Instagram, I'll screenshot it and I'll do it. So things like that. Always, you got to research, you don't want to be left behind doing stuff old school, but then again, the old school stuff does still work. So, you just got to be onto it. And I think, you got to be keen. I'm sure everyone that's on the Trainer HQ program is keen and, ready to put out the hard yards.
It's an attitude and a mindset. One of the questions that we ask people when they're starting up with us on the coaching program is, are they coachable? Are they open to ideas and suggestions and so forth? And once again, when I think about yourself, Cutsy, you epitomise the person that's coachable, because you hear an idea or a concept and you go, beauty, I'll rip into that straight away. And it's not, you don't question it, you don't look for the problems in it. You go, all right, cool, let's run with this, And over that time, there'd be some of those that have worked amazingly. There'd been other things you might have tried that didn't work as well, but you go, all right, cool. It's not like I'm sitting there just hedging my bets on just this one thing. I just get in and do it.
100%. I feel why not give things a go? The tips that you guys give, give everything a go, try put it all into action and that sort of stuff as well. And if it doesn't work, then you don't do it again later. You may as well give things a go and see if they're going to work. And, some things that I remember you guys saying, oh, go and do this, this, and this. I'll be like, oh my God, that's going to be scary. But you'd sit there. I remember one like really good one was, I think it was with E-Man. I was running challenges. So this challenge was like an 8-week challenge. I think I was charging like $250 for like unlimited boot camps, this meal plan I would do. I'd be there 24/7 support, like everything. And then he was like, why don't you do a 4-week challenge? So your classes are still running, do unlimited, all that sort of stuff. It was the same sort of thing, marketed differently. We charged everyone $600 for this 4-week challenge. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to ask people $600 for a challenge.
Yeah.
Like that's something. I was like, not that it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
I had seen what it was worth. Like they were going to get, $2,000 worth of product, like service. But I was like, no way, it's a challenge. It's got to be cheap. It's got to be nasty. Like people are going to want it. I think I got 12 people sign up on like $600 and I was like gobsmacked. Couldn't believe it. The setup behind it, we had slideshows, we had the right marketing. I sat down with those people. I had a script that I went through. They didn't even really care what I was saying because they were already sold. They were just up, ready to get their measurements done and just pay me. They were ready. So to have that marketing background and all that sort of stuff, and the confidence from your coaches to say, come on, just go do it. Like you'll be fine. What's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to say, no, I don't want to pay that. All right. Then you can't be in the challenge. So things like that, I feel like you got to be out of your comfort zone to go
to that next level.
100%. 100%.
Now, what advice would you give to people who are coming through this journey and want to aspire to do things like you've done, build the business up successfully and maybe have a facility, all that? What would you say to them?
I feel like give everything a go. If there's something that you want to do, you can 100% do it. Just make sure that that you do sit down, you do have a bit of a structure, you know what you're doing. But I feel like if you've got the motivation and you're keen to expand, charge that little bit more, buy a business, all that sort of stuff, back yourself. I feel like everyone just needs to back themselves, believe in yourself, and hopefully that, not even hopefully, I know that most people would just succeed. I don't know. I feel, and be uncomfortable, as we just said before, like I'm always uncomfortable. I feel like everything I'm doing, like it's, even buying the building and stuff like that, it's going to be, Brad's just dying over there. It's going to be, a big bit of pressure, but I feel like it's going to be the best thing for us in the future for another, thing to have behind us. So be uncomfortable, push yourself, and believe in yourself. I feel like if you believe in yourself and that you do put those structures and the systems in place, there's no stopping.
Absolutely. And someone who's sitting on the fence with thinking about like getting help, support, coaching, like what do you suggest to them?
Oh, what have you got to lose? Like, I know probably a lot of people go, oh, like it's the same with personal training or whatever. Oh, it's too much money or whatever it is. But the result that you get afterwards, like there's no, like you'd pay all the money in the world to get some help, to get yourself set up, to have the confidence to do all that sort of stuff. And even I went on one of the Ignite trips over in Bali. That was like, I'd pay so much money to go do that. You know what I mean? Like that was the best thing for me. Like that was a personal growth thing for me. So, I think it's well and truly, worth it. I loved it. I loved working with you guys, and you can obviously see where my business is now. The help I've had from you guys is amazing. That's
awesome. Really great to hear. And just back to that Ignite trip that we do in Bali, we're coming up next year. We'll get, fortunately, the countries are open and the borders are open, all the rest of it. So we go back to Bali in 2023 in June again to run that event. And the last one was the 2019 event we run, coincidentally, because we've been shut down for a few years. And you're at that one. And I hadn't really thought about it before, but I remember you telling me when you come back from that event, that was mid-2019, what a profound impact it had on you and your mindset and your attitude. And then that correlates also with the end of that year, the gym, the opportunity coming through and so forth. Did you know when you were in Bali that that the possibility of buying the gym was there, or was it, had you just again had the idea of going, hey, I do want to have a gym, not sure how this is going to play out?
I think the idea was always there. I feel like we'd had a bit of discussion, but I think yeah, after that, in Bali, we worked on a lot of being uncomfortable. So a lot of the activities we did was to be uncomfortable, to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So for me, I think when I got back, I was like, well, how can I, what's the next step? All right, I've got this huge Brooks Fitness running, it's making good money, everything's going so well. What's next? What else can I do? Why? And kind of to me, I looked at the gym and I was like, well, I'm bringing all this business into the gym. Like, obviously there's clients and that come to the gym to do gym work. But I had a big, I think I had 70 to 80 clients coming into the gym, paying memberships and stuff like that, which is fantastic. I loved it. And I didn't really pay much rent. I had a fantastic deal. Well, no rent really. It was,
because of that fact. Yeah. Because you were bringing so much business to the gym. Yeah.
Yeah, so to me, that was the next step. And, the owner of the gym, he had the same idea anyway. He wanted to move back up to Perth and be with his wife and that up there. So, it was the best thing. It worked out best for both of us.
It was win-win. And we like to refer to it as this concept of the expected and also the unexpected. So you've got, you got the current business pumping, it's doing really well. And then the unexpected goes, here's the gym, here's another opportunity. And so once again, taking yourself out of your natural habitat, putting yourself in these areas of, overcoming any potentially, roadblocks, limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging beliefs. And it's like, what's next? What opens up, So.
And even now owning the gym as well, the total different aspect of that, you're dealing with different people as well. So when I say that, personal training clients, I know them, personally and all that sort of stuff. Whereas the gym had X amount of members, I didn't know all the members and stuff like that. So, you had to go through certain, things and learn how to talk to those people if they had a complaint or their payment didn't go through this week. Now, how come they're getting charged the extra dishonor fee or whatever it was? How to then step up that little bit extra to be, to back yourself and be like, no, this is how the business runs. You know how it's run, you know how it runs, this is what it is. But also to have that compassion in the right sort of areas as well, not just to be an absolute complete bitch, I suppose, because you deserve, that's what the rules are and that sort of stuff, to have that compassion to be able to talk to those other members as well. And, if they were struggling or whatever it was, to help them in that aspect. So,
phenomenal. The other part to what I've observed along the way, whilst you've been doing all the above, you punch out merchandise, you've got pretty much the shop inside the gym now where people can purchase the stuff they need. You got all these other little sideline things, and always I always wear around the Brooks Fitness T-shirt, and usually annually we get the in the mail, here comes a T-shirt, so here's my next bit. Once again, all this stuff, I'm not surprised at all at your success because you're just a doer, So
the shop as well, so we've just expanded the shop. So when I say the shop, it's your pre-workouts and your protein and all that sort of stuff. But we've just expanded and we've added a heap more of different brands and all that sort of stuff. So over the last couple of weeks, in the midst of doing all this business sale and all that sort of stuff, I've been contacting wholesalers, and I've had a lot of money obviously go out to fund for all these wholesale things, but it's going really well, and I've got big plans for things coming forward as well. So it's all happening. The apparel always goes. We do business jobs for other people around town as well, doing their own designs and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. And once again, sort of back to those that are listening, it's that concept of going, say with a gym member who's paying a weekly gym membership, we're going, well, all right, well, how do we, find ways to increase the dollar value of our gym members, because they're going to get this stuff anyway, right? They're going to want merch and clothing. They're going to want to get their supplements. They're going to do all that. So why not get it from your place? Therefore, what we do is we turn a $16 a week person into maybe a $24 a week person, and do that across the board, and that becomes a multiplier.
Yeah, 100%. And even we do a lot of it ourselves here. And even just recently I ordered a heap of jumpers in to sell at a gym. I only got 10 in or something like that. They all were like that. They were gone. So I was there at 6 o'clock in the morning. I just hung them up. By 7 o'clock, they were all gone. So, and I was like, I'm in R into car, and I'm like, oh, do I put it at $79? Oh, that's too expensive. No one's going to buy that. Oh, I'll put it at this. And the car's like, no, well, like, it's obviously cost us this amount.
Yeah.
We still need to make a profit on it.
Yeah.
And we still made about 50% on top of what we did.
Yeah.
So we ended up selling like 50 of those jumpers. I got more in, and it was huge. It was awesome. But we've even just set up, and it's a good idea for other people that if you do, are running a bit of a shop and stuff like that. And I think I seen one of the boys got like a QR code to like maybe leave a review on Google.
Yes, yep.
That page the other day. So we do something similar because our gym's obviously 24/7. So our shop's there, it's open, people can grab stuff as they go.
Yeah.
So hope that everyone's really
we've got an honesty system there.
Honest.
Yeah.
We've got cameras, obviously, and all that sort of stuff. But so we've got this QR code now. So if we're not there, it says like if staff aren't in, but you still want to purchase something, scan this code. They type in, oh yeah, I've got this C4 workout, pre-workout thing here. Type it in. They can pay for it. They can take it. So
love it.
That's even over the weekend. I had 3 sales. Come in over the weekend when I wasn't there. I was down at Chris on the couch. So that's awesome, really good idea for people if they are, trying to sell stuff in their 24/7 gym. That's an option as well.
Love it. That's great. So, Cuttsy, let's summarize a bit of this journey. We're almost next year is going to be your 10-year anniversary as a trainer of PT.
Yeah.
And moving from boot camps, part-time basis. Next phase into going, all right, I'm going to quit the full-time job and sink everything I can into this. Into going, all right, now I'm starting to grow, starting to expand. I add the personal training to it as well. So I've got that part. Next thing is I get the opportunity. I'm in the gym and I start to then grow the team. And then I have the opportunity to now purchase the gym. And now at the highest level of, in my opinion, completing the cycle is now purchasing the building. So now you are effectively the owner of the building, your business, the 2 businesses become the tenant of this building and become the occupiers of it. So, all this income, this rent, this revenue goes into you and the asset that you're building.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. And it's like, sounds surreal. Like if you ask me, like even 5 years ago before I started with you guys, I was probably making, I think it was like $1,500 $5 notes. Like that's honestly what I was making. My father-in-law had like a safe in his house, and I used to stack my $5 notes up in the safe. Like this is not even a joke. To now, making $7.5, $8 a week. Profit, like that's the income and stuff like that. It's unreal. And then to obviously have even more income coming in once we do buy the actual building to work on the business and stuff like that. So let's see what happens within the next year. Let's see what else we can do.
Here we go. Cuttsy, it's been an absolute pleasure. And again, no surprises that you have been awarded our Entrepreneur of the Year here at Trainer HQ. So I guess for those of you out there who are, aspiring to do things like this, is a perfect person to watch, to grow. Also, in part of our community, the thing I've got to mention is you're always willing to share. You're always willing to make a comment, whether you're sharing a win or you're just sharing here's something that worked. That's the thing I love most about it as well. So,
100%.
Absolutely.
Love the community that you guys have. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, sweet. Now, if anyone does want to check you out, or if anyone is traveling in Manjimup and finds themselves down there, where might they find you? Where's the best place? Or on socials?
Facebook's probably the easiest. So it's Fit Life 24/7 Manjimup. You could get us, or Brooks Fitness. I mean, either one. My number's everywhere, so you just can give me a call. That's easy.
That's awesome. Look, Cuttsy, once again, thank you very much. You're an absolute legend. And, we look forward to, continuing to have you as part of our community well into the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Loved it. Thanks for all your help too.
It's my pleasure. I'm sitting here just so proud of your achievements and your efforts. So here we go. Here's the next stage.
Yeah, that's it. I'll have to keep you updated.
All right. Thanks again, Brooke Cutts.
Thanks, Fred. All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. All right. I'll talk to you later. See ya.
See ya.